that not only supports our agents and the businesses that we're all building, but it also brings in revenue back into the company. And as you all know, we're all owners of the company. So it's a win-win-win all the way around. But when we got started, there weren't that many resources before, right? I'm gonna record this to the cloud just in case. There weren't that many resources before, and they've just built out this incredible organization called Revenos. And there's so much goodness, but if you're a little bit like me, sometimes it gets overwhelming. And so I said, Dawn, will you just come in and pour into the agents and just show them all the things that we're doing, and then we can dig a little bit deeper. So last year, through our Revenos program that just got really started, we gave out 22,800 and something leads, which resulted in over 1.16 billion in revenue into the company, which means into the agents' pockets as well. So Dawn, thank you for being here. I'm going to let you take the floor. I'm going to apologize in advance, y'all, because two housekeeping things really quick. I'm hosting the big agent meeting today in the world. So I have to jump off at 9:45, but this will continue to go until the end of the meeting if it's still valuable for you guys. And you know, when you go into restaurants and everybody say, or you go into a bar or a club and they say, you know, make sure to take care of your staff and tip your waitresses and waiters and things like that. Just take care of your people. I'm going to ask the same thing. I've got an amazing staff, amazing crew that surrounds me and helps me do what I do and helps me bring more value to all of you as well. And that's Sab, Annika, and Kay. And they work for me. They're not corporate. And I think a lot of people keep thinking they're corporate, but they work for me. And so there's been a lot of moving parts with them. So I'm just going to ask that you guys just treat them kindly and give them grace. And if there's some things that y'all need their help with, definitely, you know, go to them. And if they can't find a solution quickly, they'll come to me. But just love on my people. So I appreciate that. And so with that, I am going to turn it over to Dawn. Dawn, do you want sharing capability? Okay.
Yes, please. If you'll go ahead and enable, that would be great, because I'll go ahead
Got
and
it
share.
now. So
okay,
thank you
so
for
much.
being here. It's all yours.
Thanks, Elizabeth. So thank you, everybody, for having us or having me and letting me share a little bit about Revenos. It's kind of funny how things started 3 years ago this month. EXP took me out of, I was retired for the second time. You know how real estate goes. I had actually retired a second time to take care of a husband who had some medical issues. He's doing great now, by the way. And came back to EXP to actually set up a relocation division, an REO division, and an affinity division, because we didn't have one. And actually, it started with they tried to attract me as an agent. And I said, I don't do that. I bring in business. Well, how do you do that? Well, really, I do that with having great agents and having a great company with great leadership that allows me to go ahead and do it. So with that, I came in, and the first month, I think we had 14 referrals in Relo. And the second month, I think there were 46. And the third month, there were over 100. And then all heck broke loose, to say it nicely. And that's how it started. And right now, I have a team of 35 people now that are staff, and all they do is work on bringing in referrals and giving them out to our agents that are certified and are interested in them. So really excited to be here. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and start our presentation so you can see what we're doing here. And here we go. So EXP Revenos, actually how the name started, everybody called it Dawn's team when I first came in, because that's what it was. It was Dawn's team, and there was just Cindy Nixon and I, and then I hired Bridget Golden from Cardis. And then the rest of our relocation managers were brought in. About every 6 to 8 weeks, we needed to bring in somebody new, and we're continuing on that path because we continue to grow. In fact, last month was our largest month in bringing in referrals, and we brought in over 3,700 referrals last month in December. December is supposed to be a slow month. It's supposed to be time people calm down, and it was not for us, and it continues to be very busy for us. And we're going to talk about why, because I think it's very interesting how it happens. And just so you can see, here's a QR code. I encourage you to take out your phones. I'm going to have a lot of QR codes available for you to see. but you can take out your phones and take a picture of it, and it'll give you the links to and more information about Revenos, where to go to. But we have EXP Affinity. An affinity business is the people that move outside of corporate relocation. So they're moving on their own. Their companies are not moving them. They're not paying for the move, and they're not moving due to a job-related move. So keep your eye on that, because we're going to talk about how that figures into the rest of all the referrals that we've got bringing in across the U.S. We have EXP relocation. Everybody knows relocation business. That's when a company is moving somebody due to a job-related move. And do you know that only 20% of the population that moves every year is moving because of corporate relo? So 65% is affinity. But what does everybody fight for? The relo. Everybody's focused on the relo. REO and military is another 15%. So when you look back, there's about 27 million people, about 8.9% of the population moved last year. Out of that, 20% is corporate relo, 15% is military or other, and I'm going to put REO in there. And then you've got the 65%, which is over 17 million people that move every year in the United States. And that is what I call affinity business. They're the people that they're upsizing, downsizing, getting married, getting divorced, having families. You know, it's life events that cause them to want to buy or sell properties. So we talked about EXP relocation and affinity. We have EXP REO. Let's talk a little bit more about that. There's not a lot going on in that. For those of you that are big Fannie and Freddie and HUD and have some of the great accounts, that's great. There's business that continues to flow, maybe dripping through there. Everybody's talking about what's coming, but everybody's been talking about what may be coming for over a year, and we're still waiting. That's not what we're focused on, because where the business is coming in is institutional investment services. New division we just created, and what is that? The institutional investment services division is we're working with the hedge funds, all the big institutional players who own large rental portfolios. They own lots of properties where they buy or sell. And for those of you that were focused enough in the beginning a couple of years ago to help them buy those properties, it was very good. We were really working with those.
How do you manage that kind of relationship? The
And
daughter and son are the
hi.
one.
Yeah. Somebody's
Hold on,
unmuted.
Don. I'll mute
leading.
them.
That's okay. There you go. Thanks, Elizabeth. It happens. But the institutional investment services is very interesting because over the last, I'm going to say 8 weeks, we've done over 2,500 BPOs. These are not REO properties. These are hedge fund properties owned by large corporations, institutions that these were in rental pools, and being the cap rates with what they are, it doesn't make sense to hold them and take the risk of owning the property. And so they're selling them. And we're the ones that we feel we should be. EXP is the best suit in the best position to go ahead and sell those properties for them. So for those of you that have not gotten involved with institutional investment services, I'm going to tell you how to do that and how to get involved in each one of these different business units. You can pick and choose, or you can choose to be involved in all of them. The next one we have is Express Offers. Express Offers, we're in the process of just reimagining the whole Express Offers process and how the whole program works. EXP has our own proprietary program that goes ahead and matches institutional or investors, small and large, with sellers, right? And the whole goal is to bring cash offers to sellers that are listing their properties. Wouldn't it be amazing if, let's go back. For those of you that have ever brought an offer into Express Offers, one of the challenges is you can go ahead and submit a listing in Express Offers, and you should be hearing back in a week, and there's never any notification back. You don't hear anything. You're wondering what's going on, the seller's wondering what's going on, and it's turned out that investor just isn't interested. Well, we're changing the process so those things don't happen. And wouldn't it be amazing if you could go ahead and submit, if a listing is interested, you could submit that listing and have a response back in minutes before you even put it in MLS, whatever your requirements are in your state. So Express Offers, we're reimagining the whole process of that. And that is being led by Mark Woodling, who's also my Director of Institutional Investment Services. Then we also have Making It Rain. Making It Rain I think it's great for agents that are having a slump in their business career, or They really like to have leads that are coming in on their own that they do not have to pay a referral fee on, or it's for new agents. Because what Making It Rain does is you pay a fee monthly up front. And we go ahead and create an online marketing campaigns for you. We run those. We've got experts doing that. When the leads come in, they are all yours to go ahead and handle with no referral fee. So those are our main sources of business right now, where we're bringing in lots of business. And the only reason we've been able to grow from 0 3 years ago to 3,700 referrals last month, and this year we're already well over, I think, 3,400 for the first month, is because of agents like you who've done a great job for us. So let's go into what Revenos is. Revenos is actually EXP's buyer and seller referral engine. We've created an engine that all the relocation management companies work with us on. All the big affinity clients work with us on, the Home Stories, the Rockets, the Zillows, Orchard. There are so many companies that come to work with us. We work with probably close to, I'm going to say close to 1,000 different companies that come to us directly. Every relocation management company is working with us. In fact, we have a call this afternoon with one of them. I was nervous because the two leaders wanted to talk with Cindy Nixon and I together. And I'm like, Cindy, what's wrong? Have we done anything wrong? She goes, Dawn, we're their number one broker in their network on service delivery. And I'm like, okay, something good is going to happen. That's awesome, because they want to talk to us directly. That means they've got something they're preparing us for so that we can help them grow their business. And if we do a great job, we're helping these companies grow their business, which is what you are the other half to, because we can only do half of it. It's the agents who are the boots on the ground that actually deliver the service day to day. So we're reimagining the referral status quo, and high quality referrals can be very hard to find. You can buy some terrible referrals right now. That's awful. We do not buy referrals. We go out and we want the best quality referrals for you. We manage them. We measure them. We have very clear P&Ls on them. We go ahead and we have KPIs, and that's why our certification is tough. And those of you who may be experienced in relocation or other sources of business, you still have to come to our certifications that are live. And the reason is the clients now won't allow us to give you or assign you out a quality lead if you haven't come through the certification. That's one of the reasons they like to work with EXP Revenos. So we've created this market-leading referral engine with ready, willing, and able buyers and sellers exclusively just for you. Now, I do want you to know that I did have an agent recently who called me. Actually, she was a broker of record of a company, and her name wasn't familiar, and I talked to her, and after a couple-minute conversation, I said, well, you are with EXP, right? She goes, well, no, but I still want your business. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but it's only exclusively for our EXP agents. But if you'd like to come over, I'd be happy to connect you with like Elizabeth Riley to go ahead and help you come over and join us. So I don't know if you've seen this, but this is our Revenos video. Elizabeth, if you can't hear it, let me know, but you should be able to hear it. Okay, let's go.
Did you know EXP has a dedicated group for bringing in
We can hear it.
buyer and seller referrals? Meet Revenos. We're EXP's buyer and seller referral engine, and we are reimagining the referral status quo. Bottom line, that means increased revenue opportunities for you. Get ready to rev up your business. Imagine, what would your business look like with referrals from these business lines? EXP Relocation, EXP Affinity, EXP REO, Express Offers, Making It Rain, EXP Honor Military Rewards. Our referral network is unparalleled, reaching far and wide to bring the best opportunities to EXP agents and connecting thousands of motivated buyers and sellers per year to agents like you. And this is only the beginning. This is Revenos.
Okay, awesome.
Did you know?
And we're
EXP
missing,
has
hold
a
on one
dedicated
second.
group for bringing in quality buyer and seller referrals.
And I'm going to go ahead and pass that one. I do want to say that we have what we don't have on there is Bundle Select, which is a new business unit that we've just created, as well as our Institutional Investment Services division. Okay, so what can Revenos do for you? It can really help you set up long-term success. There's nothing better to me than when I have an agent call us And we get, because we have great messages that we like to share within the team. And an agent calls and says, I just want you to know I had that relocation closing, or I had that affinity closing with Home Store or whatever, and I'm now an Icon agent. I'm so excited. That really makes us very happy. So we have Revenos at exprealty.net. Again, here's a QR code. If you have any questions, you're trying to reach out to us, please go ahead and use the Revenos at exprealty.net. The way to reach the Revenos team, by the way, would be through workplace chat. Unfortunately, well, it's fortunate, but it's unfortunate because it's hard to manage. But most of my team is receiving, we could receive 1,000 emails within 3 to 4 days. And it's really hard. We want to be able to get back to you as quickly as possible. So workplace chat is our #1 way to make sure if you need to reach us, that's how to do it. And data privacy, of course, we have to make sure that we're data privacy champions because all our clients require this. We cannot go out and share. So for example, if we give you business from relocation or an affinity client, what you cannot do is add them to your list and then start marketing to them directly. We have many clients that will go ahead, and if they know that you're doing that, because a transferee or a buyer or seller, somebody's going to complain at some point in time, they'll find that out. They will take you out of the system, and we will not be able to use you for any future business. So we have to be really careful, right, about how we market and share. And you need to ask them, you know, is it okay if I can add you to my farming list? Can I go ahead and be in contact with you every month or every quarter, whatever it is? They say yes, that's a whole different story. But we have to be careful. Also be aware that we're doing business with a lot of government service agencies. These are people who, when they buy and close on houses, their names are not recorded on the deeds. It is withheld, or whatever your state may allow. So, and if we violate that trust, that business could be, you know, could stop from us. So we have to be really cautious about what we do. By the way, here's the leadership team. Leo Pereira, he's our Chief Strategy Officer. I'm telling you, he is the best. Elizabeth, many of my managers in different companies have told me to slow down. You move too fast, you talk too fast. Leo, when he came in and he talked to me for the first hour, I got off the phone and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is the first manager in a while I'm going to have to run to keep up
I
with
was
him.
going to say, Leo talks very, very fast. So I think
He
you guys
does.
keep up right
We
away.
do.
Yeah.
We keep up right away. Yeah, he's the best. In fact, sometimes we hop too fast, but love them. Love this team. They're the ones that are helping me make it happen, as well as the rest of the staff, which is like you talked about your staff, how they, you know, my staff, I couldn't do it without them. Countries we've touched so far. By the way, we've not only do we cover the U.S. and Canada, but we're also in these countries we've also already done business in. In fact, I think we can add more to this because we've been in Portugal and Europe, in England, and I don't even know, perhaps even Scotland. So we're adding countries that we're doing business with every day. So let's talk about corporate relocation. Relocation, by the way, again, it's only 20% of the business that buys of buyers and sellers every year, but it's a good business. The quality of the referrals are high. You don't get any better motivated buyers or sellers because they have to move. When my family moved, we moved 14 times, and before I was 19, or when I hit 19, we'd moved 14 times. My parents always had a choice, 4 different locations. They could pick and choose. Today, you usually get, hey, we have a job opportunity for you. Here's where you would be going. You're going to Kansas City, Kansas, and we need you there in 3 weeks, you know, by say February 15th or something. We need to hear back from you within 72 hours. So Monday or Tuesday, please get back to us. Let us know whether you're willing to accept the job. And that's the pressure they're under. So it's not easy. So the marketing assistance is basically the home sale. The destination services is the home purchase. And these are the different services that we provide under corporate relocation. Know that when they're listing their home, that the buyer and seller never sign the same contract. Okay, there's 90% of the time the buyer and sellers do not sign the same contract. You'll go ahead and list a home, and there's certain guidelines and certain forms that have to be signed by that seller and buyer. And there's a reason for that. That ensures that the buyer or seller, and I'm going to say the seller in the marketing assistance, the listing opportunities, they can take advantage of the IRS 11-step guidelines that offer them tax incentives. If we, the agents, don't follow the process correctly, we can cost them those tax incentives. And I can tell you, when it costs generally roughly about $100,000 a year for a relocation person to be transferred in the United States, that's a domestic move. and they don't get the IRS tax benefits because we screwed up and didn't have them sign the right forms, or we had the buyer and seller sign the same purchase agreement, they're not going to be happy with us. In fact, I've even seen, 2 years after, when a transferee found out how, because an agent did not follow the benefits correctly and the IRS guidelines correctly, that it came back and he had to pay a huge chunk of cash and taxes that he would have not had to pay. And he came back and wanted that out of commission that had already been dispersed the year before. So that's one of the reasons that the relocation management companies come to Revenos as a single point of contact, because we know those guidelines and those steps, in our sleep. For agents that maybe you do 5 or 10, relocations a year, if you're lucky enough, or maybe you just do 1 or 2, we're there to guide you through it and make sure that you do such a fantastic job. The next time that relocation management company has a lead in your market, they're going to remember Natasha's name and they're going to say, hey, we've got a lead in San Diego and we wanted to go to Natasha. We worked with her, 6 months ago. They actually keep our BPOs, your BMAs, your broker market analysis strategy reports. The reason they have to be done so well and that it has to come back to Revenos for us to approve them is they actually share them within their companies. And one time I asked somebody, I got a call and I got a referral many years ago. And I said, how did you get my name? I've never worked with you before. And she goes, oh, your BMA is up on the bulletin board. And I said, what do you mean? She goes, oh, we share BMAs. We share the good ones and we share the bad ones. So those things, while they seem like details to you, we really know how to make it look like you are just the top and doing the best job ever of any agent in the US. We always want to make you look so good that they're going to remember your name and want to come back to you. And so settling in services, inventory properties, by the way, we just got another inventory property today. If you have a listing in relocation that it doesn't sell, because the seller still controls the list price. And let's say it's overpriced and it doesn't sell. It may come back, the company may go ahead and offer them a buyout, meaning they'll go ahead and buy out the property from the employee. We'll go ahead and get that property from the corporation now because they own it. The company, the employee now is given their equity. They turn the keys over to us as the listing agent for the new property now that's owned by the corporation, and that's called an inventory property. I think we have over 67 of them right now across the U.S. As the market declines, inventory properties will grow. That is just like an REO, except it's the top property in best condition. But you still have an unemotional seller who wants to sell that property in the shortest period of time for the highest price with the least amount of stress or aggravation. And so inventory properties, if your property that you have a real listing and it doesn't sell, if you do a great job, they many times will let you keep that property when it goes into inventory, and we can allow that to happen with you. Rental assistance and candidate tours, by the way, we're doing an awful lot of those. They're actually paying our agents. It could be anywhere from $600 for half a day up to a couple $1,000s for 2 days, where you'll actually go in and take a transferee who's deciding if they want to move to let's say they want to move to San Diego. They'll pay you a fee for spending a couple of hours, 4 hours, up to 2 days with that transferee, doing a tour, selling them on the market, not selling them a house. That would be a different trip that they would come back to, but selling them on, gee, is this a place I can move myself, my family, and would we be happy here? And you may even end up, showing them schools. We'll walk you through that, but that's another way of a source of business that's very quick, and you get a nice little fee for that. Group moves, there's not been any group moves that I've seen in the last year. But when a group move comes through, the largest group move I did was I moved over 1,200 people from West Palm Beach, Florida, up to Hartford, Connecticut. And they made us start with 4 to 5 real estate companies. But at the end, because I was working and promoting our real estate company, at the end, they only used our company exclusively. So that is something that's really important. If you ever get a call for a group move, that is a great opportunity because that's a guaranteed sale. And you many times will be working with more than one transferee and get, a couple of different transactions. So again, let's go over the difference between relocation and affinity, because there's a lot of confusion. Again, relocation is when people are moving because of their job, their company is transferring them. Generally, the company will pay for some or all of their move. EXP Revenos works with every relocation management company out there. Affinity business is really learning how to drill down and capture. It was 9.8% in 2022. In 2023, it's dropped down to 8.9% of the population that moves every year. Again, if they're moving in your market, how much of that business are you actually handling? Because that's where the biggest opportunity is, and that's where a focus should be. And let's go over affinity business. We offer employee and member benefit programs. Affinity business can expand your sphere of influence. And how do you do that? Again, affinity is real estate moving service programs offered to employees of corporations or members of organizations. The employees are not moving because of a job, they're moving on their own. We will match the customer with a preferred real estate agent that's certified with EXP. And the buyer seller is eligible to receive a concession in states where it's legal. It is legal in California, by the way. And it's a rebate or a reward, we like to call it. And it can be used towards closing costs with lender approval, and the individuals pay for all costs of their move. The types of different affinity clients are financial institutions, membership organizations, employee corporations, military, fire department, police departments, local hospitals, school districts, gyms, stores, any place that you go to could be a potential affinity opportunity. What's the value of affinity business to you, our EXP agents? You'll have more referral opportunities available to you because instead of just focusing on relo and REO, which is such a tiny piece of the puzzle of people that move every year, you will be the primary recipient of referral opportunities in your market. If you have increased referrals, that's increased market share and profits. And it's an opportunity to use our affinity programs to help you generate more business. So our new affinity program that we have is Bundle Select, and it can provide you with a unique model to grow your business. And we actually acquired this company about 6 months ago. We weren't supposed to. Bundle Select was a client that was giving us business. They had Visa, Adobe, and Salesforce, Guardant Health, and some others as their clients. And those employees, when they wanted a discount or a reward for moving, would come to EXP exclusively, and we would move them. We found out that the tools that they have were so great. I thought that would be awesome to be able to give them back to our agents. And we have an army of almost 90,000 agents or so, Elizabeth, of agents. There are some agents that want to control their own business. And this is an opportunity for Bundle Select for them to do that. So we found out that Bundle Select was actually had a couple of opportunities to be acquired by other companies. We were only going to be a subscription relationship with them. And so we went ahead and we made sure that that wasn't going to happen, that we didn't lose it. And EXP went and acquired Bundle Select, which was wonderful. And what does it do? Bundle Select will go ahead and bundle the realtor, which is you, with the lender. It could be Success Lending, which right now on the Bundle Select program is offering 100 bips, which is actually $1,000 per $100,000 mortgage. So if it's a $300,000 mortgage, you could pay up to $3,000 in lender discounts. You select your title and escrow company of your choice in your market. And if they do need relocation services outside of companies that have corporate relo, we can also help them. So what's an affinity generated program or an agent generated program? And that's what Bundle Select is. And I won't go too long on this, Elizabeth, because this is just one of the things we go through. Is it okay to continue going through this like this? Yes, she's saying okay. So AGA is an agent generated account. You identify and manage the client relationship, and EXP relocation managers are the back of the house for you. We actually treat you like the corporate client. As you bring in business, we're going to be the back of the house for you, just like we treat Server Relocation or Cardis or others. And what's the value of being an agent who generates your own business? You control the corporate relationship. And again, this is not for relocation. This is only for affinity business. And these are the employees that move outside of a job-related move. It can give you more exposure in your local market. It can increase your market share, which will be more closings, minimizes your referral fees because on Bundle Select, the referral fees are 25%. 20% goes back to the buyer seller, 5% goes to EXP Revenos. On a $400,000 house, that's about, or $400,000 closing, that's about $3,000 more in your pocket versus if Revenos gives you a referral from Home Story or Rocket or Zillow, the referral fees are 50%. So we want to try and also give you an option of being able to have more money in your pocket and another source of business. Let's talk about our Honor Military Rewards program. We actually built this site last year, but it wasn't going anywhere because we didn't have the right marketing support. We do now, and we're really excited about it because the website is live. We work with active duty veterans and retired members of all our armed services, and we actually offer them a reward back at close in the states where it's legal, and it's legal in all but 10 states. And what we're doing is we're actually building, we've got, about 3,700 of EXP agents who are part of the MilNet group, our Mil.net group, which is our military group. And we're actually working to go ahead and go after the military bases and capture that business because that business is out there and it's good. It's a good business to have. And we also want to give back to our military. So it's live. It's available to all military families and members. We assist them, especially with PCS moves, personal change of station moves. They get up to 25% cash back to the buyer or seller at closing as a reward or concession. And it's available to their children, spouses, parents, and grandparents of active or retired or separated. We have our First Responders First program, which is for doctors and nurses and EMTs, teachers, social workers, our first responders, and also they also just like the Bundle Select program can earn up to 20 or 25% cash back as a reward. And these are employees of hospitals, school districts, fire departments, police departments, and children and spouses can also qualify. So in my previous life, when I was a real estate agent, I'm still licensed and have been for a long time, but when I was in Poughkeepsie, New York, Poughkeepsie is a very small market. There was a lot of relo business with IBM when they were there. I used to have 30 relocation listings come in each month and 30 closings each month. It was a great 3 years. However, IBM then laid off 10,000 people in that market. The market changed. That was when one of the market downturns happened and IBM was affected just as the rest of the United States. And so I had to go after other business. And what did I do? I started going after the offering real estate services and offering special programs to the school district, to the police department, to the fire department, to the local hospital. And I went in and offered what is now the Bundle Select program. I had it under a different name. It was me doing it personally as an individual, but that's basically what I did. And I would, if I only got even one transaction from it a year from each organization, that was 4 more transactions or 5 than I had previously. So it was a good piece of business. What's the value to our customers? The employee member of military first responders, they get real estate benefits and a concierge service. So EXP Revenos, we're your concierge service when these referrals come through. You work with the certified affinity agent who understands the program. And again, the buyer seller will receive a reward in states where it's legal. And how the program works is if you want to go ahead and participate on this, you can do this on your own. But frankly, most agents haven't. And so what we've done is we built the program for you. You go ahead and you sign up your local fire department. I used to go in and the sheriff's department and on the 15-minute shift change, it was 30 minutes. They give me 15 minutes to go in and explain, hey, if you come and you buy a house through me or sell your house, I'm going to go ahead and give you 20% back of my commission. And you're going to get great service. And they did, and they all came to me. And so that is a way of going ahead and increasing your business. But what Revenos is doing for you is we're your back office. When those referrals come in, we're handling those referrals. In your market, they go directly to you. Outside of your market, we're going to go ahead and refer them out and split the referral fee with you. So that allows you to continue to grow your business, to go after those listings and buyers and sellers and those closings and make sure that you're managing your business well. And now you have additional revenue sources and support to help you grow your business. Let's talk about REO foreclosures and investor owned. Again, as you can see, that's how fast the slide was, right? The reason there's not much with REO is because the HUD, Fannie and Freddie accounts are great. There's some VRM business going out there. There's some, Shell Point and things like that, but just not a lot. We have our eye on it. We are in touch with the REO clients and we give that business out there, but it's so little where the focus is right now, again, is on the new institutional services division that we talked about. And through Revenos, we're bringing you closer to that investment market life cycle. by bringing our agents aligned with investors of all sizes, as well as other investor service providers. And that's our vision on that. And Mark Woodling is leading it. EXP has created a national investor-centric brokerage service that we've gone out and marketed to the institutional investors. That's how we got 2,500 BPOs that we've just done. In fact, they just got another 150 2 days ago, all across the US. But how do you qualify for those? I'm sure you're thinking, okay, well, that's great, but what is that doing for me? You need to be part of the groups that we have, the workplace groups. And in those groups, we talk about when a new client comes in or a client comes in, how do you get engaged so that you're qualified for that business? Just becoming relocation certified doesn't qualify you for SERVA or Weikert Relo or some of the others. They also require their own training on top of that. And if you're not paying attention on the workplace chats or the workplace groups to that, you're going to miss the opportunities. And so we'll talk about how to do that in a minute. But ultimately, our agent network with our institutional investor knowledge through Revenos, we package you with the specific service that they're looking for and ultimately to drive more referrals to you. Let's talk about express offers. Express offers, we actually have grown that business dramatically. We are redoing a new website, a new process, and Terrence Clark is our express offers. He is our guru on that. He was an EXP agent who really was living and breathing express offers. And so we brought him in as staff to go ahead and run that, lead that. He's doing a wonderful job on that. And basically, it's cash buy opportunities for your seller. We're enhancing a proprietary iBuying software platform called Express Offers. It worked, but guess what? It wasn't working as great as it could, but it was really good when we first built it, but it needs an overhaul, and we're well into the process of doing that. We're really excited about coming out with that very soon on that. And Making It Rain Again is our agent lead gen program where we will go ahead and we will create an online marketing campaign for you to generate leads to promote you and your business. It's an advantage of targeting through testing experience and automation. There's no change in commission splits. These leads are yours. There's no extra platform. There's setup fees. There's a month-to-month fee with no commitment. You can do it 1 month. We have many agents who've been doing it for years. It's just part of their business. It's up to you. There's flexibility. We can change target areas, your budget, how you want to focus on it. There's a training hub. Kevin Comiskey, he leads that with helpful CRM and lead conversion resources. And there's easy access to the Making It Rain team. Again, workplace chat is the best way to reach Kevin and Sheila, who are our team that do it. So we're constantly expanding our network with new opportunities. We have 19,000 motivated buyers and sellers. It's over 22,000 last year alone. In fact, totally in the 3 years, we're over 30,000 referrals in 3 years. And we have industry-leading training that sets us apart from anybody else. And actually, the client that we're meeting with, Cindy Nixon and I are meeting with today, had asked us if they could have our proprietary training in relocation. They wanted to offer it across the United States to every agent, which was very flattering to us. But this is only for EXP agents. Referral fees, just something on referral fee programs, which you should know. Never discuss the referral fee or split with the buyers or sellers. If you do, and the client finds out about it, the source that gives us this, they will take you off the list and tell us we cannot use you. It's a confidential business agreement between EXP and the referring source. We have NDAs, we have contracts, national contracts. It would be like me discussing your commission split with a buyer or seller. You just don't do that, right? That's not something you should discuss with them. And I want to just caution you on that. Here are our QR codes for each one of the business units. You can have a picture of this. We'll go ahead and share this with you, and you can have copies of these slides. But each one of these institutional workplace groups has a pinned post. One pinned post that has all the information in there that you need to become active, not just as a certified relocation agent or not just as a certified institutional agent or as a REO agent, but also or affinity agent, but also to get you to be able to handle the business within that group. So affinity requires Home Story has their own training on top of that. By the way, they're all free right now. So I would take as many as you can. Roofstock, all the other clients, they have their own training. So If you take affinity training and you don't take the home story training, you would never qualify for a home story lead. But in our workplace group, it would happen there. If you're interested in home story referrals, here's what you have to do to take that training, which is usually a 1-hour training. And we offer it often. We also, if you on those lists and you do get on those lists, they have local opportunities to meet with the clients. So Home Story and Chase and some of the other groups will go ahead and you would be invited to go ahead and be in their and attend their confidential and private, I'm not going to say confidential, but their private event, which is really beneficial because you get to meet them face to face, they get to know you, right? That's really cool. Here's our training calendar. Our training calendar is, know that the time zone is on the lower left-hand corner, so you want to make sure you're keyed into your local time zone. Right now, I believe it's Pacific time in LA, but look on the lower left-hand corner when you do go ahead and copy this training calendar. It is a live calendar. As we go ahead and make changes and add events to it, it will automatically add to it. So don't PDF it. Leave it as a dynamic event so we can go ahead and add anything. For example, with these new corporate clients that we're bringing in on the institutional side, there's additional training that will be required. And we will then post it here for you. Okay, so those are the things that you should know. And that's it. I'm going to go ahead and open it up for questions. I am open for any questions. Please don't hesitate to ask. But go ahead. How can I go ahead and what questions do you have? And go ahead, Audrey.
Okay, so there was a lot of great information there, so I appreciate that. Now, I did do some of the trainings at the last conference, and you talked about having to do further trainings,
Right.
you know, because I was kind of interested in a couple of these areas.
Right.
The working with the hedge funds, the institutional
Yep.
revenue. And so you said there was an additional training.
Right. So you have to be part of the training. When we do offer the certifications, we give you the QR codes to make sure you join the workplace groups, right? Those workplace groups are where we're going to post everything that you need to, number one, get business. And when there's a new client, when there's changes, when there's something new that comes up, we're posting it there. And then everything that we talk about communication with, okay, we've got a new client, we've got this XYZ, we've got Roofstock client. Roofstock is a client we've had for a while. Roofstock gives out listings all over. They did a lot in the Chicagoland area for quite a while. Now they're expanding. We're posting that in Roofstock.
All right.
I mean,
So
I'm
everything
sorry,
we need there.
I'm not Roofstock. We're posting that in the workplace chat for institutional. There you go. About
Okay.
Roofstock, okay? But about any other client will be posted. So if there's something about a relocation client training, if there's a change in the industry, everything is going to be posted in that workplace group.
Okay, great.
Okay. So and there's one pin post in every one of those workplace groups that has all the instructions for an affinity. If you want to be a home story, a Rocket, Zillow, or anything else, it's got the information and the links to click through to and the training. Okay, the Revenos calendar is also in there. So you need to not only do that. Third thing you need to do is when you do that and you're certified, if you did not fill out an agent profile for us, because after certification, you would have received an email with an agent profile. If you have not received that, I'm going to tell you where to send it to. You want to send a request to Revenos at exprealty.net. And anything to staff is always .net. Agents are always .com. And ask for the E-Relo, small e, capital R-E-L-O, agent profile. We cannot send them out like through a link because they're sent out personally to each agent. So we need your email address, and it should be the EXP email address. By the way, some of our clients will not allow us to go ahead and communicate with agents through their own personal emails. So have your EXP email set out so it's directed to the email of choice that you want to use, if it's a Gmail or whatever else. They want to make sure, because if there's a change or we're going out and saying, hey, they've got 1,000 BPOs that they're doing, They don't want it to go to Gmail accounts or personal accounts. They want it to go to the EXP account. And then what you do with it is fine. So that's if you have a Gmail account, it would be passed over. And we're trying to make sure that the agents are putting their EXP accounts in there, and then you can go ahead and forward it on to your your email of choice. Okay. So Revenos
Right.
at exprealty.net, and you want the eRelo agent profile. And
Got
all
it.
you have to do is say, please send me the eRelo agent profile, and they will send it. You will get that in your email. Okay.
All
You
right.
want to
Thank
fill
you.
it out. You want to fill it out, Audrey, with all the markets that you cover. Your top. I think it could take 10 markets. Put your top 10 markets. Don't put San Diego County. That's not how buyers or sellers buy, or how we get referrals. We get referrals by, I want to be in Rancho Bernardo. I want to be in Poway. I want to be in La Jolla. That's how we get the listings, or the referrals come in listed by towns or cities. So list the most, the top towns and cities that you want, not by county, please. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Any other questions? I don't see any hands up. Do you?
It looks like Jeff has some questions. Jeff, are
Go
you still
ahead,
on?
Jeff. Hi.
Hi, thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
just wanted to see if you could elaborate a little more on how the cashback at closing works and where that's coming from exactly.
Sure. Good question, Jeff. That is coming from your commission. So on a typical, if I give you a home story referral or one of the other big referrals, the referral fee is going to be 40 or to 55%. Revenos will add a 10 or 5% referral on top of the referral from the referral source. With Bundle Select or the military, the others, and you go after that business, we're going ahead and it's a 25% referral fee. 20% comes out of your commission that goes back to the buyer or seller at close, and 5% goes to Revenos, EXP Revenos. So that's the 25%. If there's business outside of your market and we refer it out for you because we're your back office on that, we'll refer it out at a 30% referral fee, 20% from that agent, certified EXP agent. 20% will go to the buyer or seller. The 10% that's left, 5% will go to you, and 5% goes to EXP Revenos. So if you bring in an account, whether it's a national account or a small account in your market, you will make a referral fee. If you don't handle the business yourself, you're going to make a referral fee on every piece of business that comes to that account. How do we manage that? How do we track it? We track it and manage it through eRelo, just like we do for our corporate clients, our regular corporate clients. We actually send reports out to you on a weekly, a monthly, however you'd like us to set it up. On small accounts, monthly would be fine. But if it's a big account, you may want it more often. And those accounts, those reports are set out automatically. The system, we just set it up. It's an automatic feed that goes out to you. We cannot give you on your leads. We can give you the names of the people. But if it goes outside of your market, we have to be cautious about certain privacy laws. You'll get the number of transactions that came through, who's the agents they were referred to, and what the status is. Is it active? Is it dead? Is it pending? Is it they're on hold right now, or is it closed? And what the dollars are for that. So all the numbers you get for that in terms of the transactions, but in terms of, for example, Matt Eisenberg in our company brought in Progressive Insurance. He had a great contact at Progressive. He brought them in. I think they've got over 35,000 employees that work there. So the Bundle Select is sitting on the corporate intranet site of Progressive. Under medical, dental, vision, real estate, moving services, there is the EXP Bundle Select program for all the employees that want to buy or sell there. So to me, affinity business, there's two types. The one that comes from the home stories, the Zillows, the Rockets, the Roofstocks, that's a type of affinity business. They're sending leads into us that they generate. The other type of affinity business is through programs like Bundle Select, where you actually are the agent that generates the business. We support you, we're your back end. And also, if you're going out to present to a company, I'm happy to come with you. I do that weekly with many, many agents, help them once or twice, they get it, and then they're soaring on their own to go out. And basically, for those of you that are old enough, and maybe one or two of you are, and I'm going to say most of you aren't, but in my day, we used to go ahead and advertise on the shopping cart in Publix or Grand Union in New York. There was your name, the agent's name and face when you're pushing your shopping cart around, or on the bus stops bench, by the way. That was another big one. That's how we advertised. This to me is the marketing of the future, right? But we're doing it at the corporate level. You're getting corporations and organizations to market you to their employees or their members of organizations. Think of a university. You can offer it to their staff, you can offer it to their students, and you can offer it to their retirees or alumni. What about a civil service group? You can offer it again to the members, and you can offer it to the alumni, right? Retirees. So could be, you can offer it to an organization with one employee. You can offer it to an organization with tens of thousands, and nationally. It doesn't have to be in your state. If you have friends, a sphere of influence with somebody that is a decision maker outside of your market, you can still go ahead and bring that company in or that organization in, and we will go ahead and handle anything outside of your market for you. And again, we're your back office, we are your team, just like Elizabeth has her great team that helps her do everything she needs to get done. We are the team to help you. My team, Revenos' job is to help you grow your business. And it used to be only in one way, right? We give you a referral, you pay a high referral fee. We've changed that. We've turned the tables. Our job is to help you grow your business any way that we can legally and makes sense, makes good business sense. And that's why I wanted to make sure that Bundle Select didn't go to somebody else, that it did stay with EXP. And we have it. We have over 200 agents that have joined Bundle Select. There is a fee, a one-time fee, by the way, to join Bundle Select if you do it. Now, you can always bring in companies on your own, and you can manage it on your own. There's no reason why you can't do that. But why don't you do it? Because you don't have the tools to do it. And that's what Bundle Select gives you. But you can do it on your own. I just want to make sure we're really clear on that. We're not interfering with that at all. There's a $1,000 fee once a year for Bundle Select. What does that give you? It gives you all the training. It gives you actually there's 4 websites. Website with EXP, Bundle Select, a website with just Bundle Select on it. And there's one for the clients, and then there's 2 websites with EXP Bundle Select and one with just Bundle Select for the employees or members to see. And there's 2 videos. One is focused on the clients when you present to them, and one is focused to the employees or members when they are looking at the video to try and decide if they want to do the program. And then we also have the playbook, which goes off. We have an advisory council who's working on this with us. John Basilio, trying to think who in your area is in San Diego who's on it. Stan Stark is on our advisory council, and Shireen Alpana is also on our advisory council. She's out of San Diego, I believe. So, so there's a number of different types of business opportunities that you have for us. It's just which one are you most interested in? And if so, then you want to make sure you're really keyed into the workplace groups and read the pinned post carefully. And then any questions, feel free to call us. Don't send us an email, please, because it might take me 6 months to get back to you. And I'm having a real hard time, and I don't like not responding to people immediately. Also, my cell phone number, happy to give it out. I will do it right here. And let's see in the chat. I'll go ahead and put it in the chat. Feel free to reach out to me if you'd like. And because we do respond on our email, our cell phones also. I am on the East Coast, and but I'm born and raised in California, by the way. I'm still in California time. I'm up until midnight every night. I sleep until 8:30 in the morning here, East Coast time, which is probably only what, 5:30, 6:30 California time, right? So please feel free to reach out to me, and I will be available to you. I will probably call you back late in the evening Eastern time, okay? Okay, any other questions? I'm not seeing hands up, so please go ahead and just unmute yourself and ask.
Yeah, I have a question. This is Daniel
Yes.
Foreman in Austin, Texas.
Daniel.
I'm actually very interested in the affinity program and have signed up for a couple of the trainings. And I'm just a little unclear, like it has the way that they're titled, it's like an introduction and then it may be training 1, because it looks like you have to do 2 training or 2 sessions for affinity. Sure. You go into depth a little bit more how that's explained on the calendars.
Yeah, good question, Daniel. So Affinity and Bundle Select program has just blown, right? Blown up in a very positive way, right? Expanded. When we first started, we talked about Affinity. We didn't have Bundle Select. We just had, our normal Affinity clients. that we brought in, they would give us referrals. The Home Stories, Zillows, Rockets are the big ones, right? And so that was training one. Well, with Bundle Select came, we needed to have additional training. We were putting it together with that training, but it needs to be a separate training because Bundle Select is so number one, important, but number two, there's a lot of information and it's a whole different piece of business. Instead of you sitting there and receiving the referrals, the affinity referrals, you're generating them and we're helping you do that. So we did it for affinity number one would be the Home Stories, and that's good to get certified. You can't receive that business or qualify for it unless you take that. But Bundle Select training, now we identified it, Daniel, as Bundle Select training. So there's a subscriber training. There's two points. One is the information training, which is for agents that are just wanting more information on it. In fact, we have an information training on Monday from 1 to 3 Eastern time. And if you want more information, in-depth training, you would come to that. That's good. We offer it. It's so in demand. We're offering it every other week. If you've already subscribed, you paid the $1,000 and you're ready to actually do this, we have subscriber training and we call it the Subscriber Mastermind. That is also meeting every other week. Is there anybody here that's actually in Bundle Select? That's a Bundle Select doing it. If you do, come forward and say hi. But that's the subscriber training for the people that have subscribed and they have access to the tools. You don't get access to the tools, the 4 websites, the playbook, and the videos without paying it, the subscription fee. There's no other costs at all for Bundle Select after that. You pay that up front. One closing would pay for probably 5 years of a subscription fee, if not much more. So it's really a good deal, and it's much less than what you're paying for a lot of other leads that you're buying.
So if I just wanted to do Bundle Select training, how is that titled in the calendar?
It's going to be Bundle Select. It's going to be on Monday from 1 to 3. In fact, I'm looking at it right now. It should be Monday from 1 to 3 Eastern time. So I think that's going to be, let's see, let me go to Monday. It is called Bundle Select Certification, Information and Certification. And it's on the main calendar, 1 to 3 p.m. It's in the World. If it's really small groups, I go ahead and turn them from the World into a Zoom call because sometimes I can have 1,000 people. Sometimes I have 300. I never know. So I'd much prefer to do it. How many people do you have on this call right now? I'm looking to see. I think we've got a good group, a really large group, because I prefer
61.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I many times often have more than that. So I never want to have people that can't join if they want to. So, but yeah, so it's on the calendar. It should be on the general calendar, the general EXP calendar, and it's also on the EXP Revenos calendar that I can go ahead and put back on if you'd like. If you go into any of our workplace groups, the calendar is always in the pinned post, the Revenos calendar with all our trainings for every Revenos training that we have. Okay, for all our certification. Okay, great, Dan. Thank you. I saw somebody else had their hand raised and I don't see it now. Go ahead. Anybody else have a question? Please unmute yourself and go ahead.
I had one more question, Dawn.
Oh, hi, Jeffrey.
Is Realty.com part of Revenos or is that separate?
Realty.com. It is technically under it, but I don't have a lot to do with that. But yes, how can I help you with it?
Oh, I was just told to go right to Realty.com for information how to participate in that. Is that the correct?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
You.
It's a little different relationship than we have with the others.
All right, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome. Any other questions? I'm looking and I don't see. Let me see. No other questions. So I did that go to job, or it's time to end the call. Go ahead, Jay. You look like you're ready to say something. All right. I think
that was directed at me. I'm okay.
I know. You're okay.
Thank
Okay,
you.
because I saw you smiling. All right. And hey, Brad, I see Brad Feynman, you in the table there. Any of your team there have any questions? No, it looks like they're good. So I also would like to ask if you have any ideas, anything we could do better anything that we're not doing that you think we should be doing, we want to hear from this. We want to hear from you about it, because what we're here for is to build business, help you build your business, whether we're bringing in business and giving it to you, or whether we're helping you build your business and giving you the tools to do that. My team gets paid the same whether I bring it in through Home Story or whether we help you build it. We're here to make sure that you're as successful as possible and that you're happy, and it's the value that we bring to the table. And when other agents, by the way, this is our affinity business, and our leads are an attraction tool. And if you have teams that you're bringing in, please feel free to call us, and we are happy to help. In fact, we do that weekly. We go ahead and attend attraction meetings and things like that constantly. So we've been doing that actually for 3 years. So go ahead, Brad, you unmuted yourself.
Yes, I mean, we didn't have any more questions, just wanted to say, thank you, it's been very informative.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay. Keneal, any questions? Okay, I think.
Hey, Don,
yes.
I had a question for you. This is Yusuf Johnson, Austin, Texas.
Hi,
Question
Yusuf.
about the military program. Is there a
Yes.
certification for that, or how do you get more information on that particular program? I didn't see any certifications.
So that's under affinity. Where military's under affinity, and we're right now. You're going to be seeing things under our EXP Workplace Affinity group. It's under Reload/affinity. So that's they're under the same workplace group. You'll be seeing us post things there because we're right now working with the Mill.net group to go ahead and grow that business. Meaning we should be targeting every military base with affinity opportunities, offering them savings and things like that, just like the old USAA program used to be, right? They had great programs that were very, very successful. And I used to have a property management and real estate company in Jacksonville, Florida. Actually, I was an hour south of Jacksonville, but I ended up having 500 rental properties, and most of my business was working with the military, Mayport's there, and some of the other activities go on there. And it's great business, and it's an opportunity for us to give back and to go ahead and help and give outstanding service. And I love doing it. So anything we can do to help the military and the first responders, we want to go ahead and work on. And if you have an interest in your individual market, please step forward and we'll help you grow that business, give you ideas on what you might be able to do to help. Okay. Okay.
Hey, Don, just
Awesome.
sorry, one quick question.
Sure.
You answered my question about the MillNet. I was just about to say, are you guys partnering with the MillNet group?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, with Deanna
Yeah.
Dopsoff, and actually right in the process of having meetings with them right now about how can we go ahead and do this.
Great. I guess the first responders and the MillNet, all super important part of what I do. And I was just curious, is that part of the affinity program as well, the first responders, or is that the Revenos?
So everything, Revenos is the umbrella, like Cardus, right? It's the referral engine for all our referrals under EXP. The affinity, so military, first responders, bundle select, those are all affinity opportunities because they're not corporate reload. So those fall under the affinity umbrella. So Revenos is the overarching, then affinity, and they just happen to fit under affinity. It's like saying, there's an apple, but yet you've got Granny Smith apples, you've got these apples and that apples, it's the same.
So just to recap, the best way to kind of continue the conversation, jump on Workplace, jump on the trainings. Would a message to any one of the staff be of value if we wanted to have a little bit more in-depth conversation with?
Sure, absolutely. You can make appointments to meet with us too. I have one person now that's helping me with appointments. Her name is Teen Dalanon, to book an appointment with me. With Dawn, so that it's not so that I don't overbook, because I tend to be triple booked sometimes and try not to do that. And I'd like to be able to, when I'm talking with agents about this, especially when we're doing looking at how we can go ahead and grow business, and wanting to have the right time, so that you have the right time, and I don't want you to be rushed. Okay, so I want to be able to have enough time with you. And again, go ahead, Yusuf.
Can you post the Revenos training calendar in the chat again? I'm sorry if you already did, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, I don't have it with me, but I'm going to give you the let me see if I can't get you the workplace groups.
They just posted it. It's in there.
Oh, is it? Okay, great. All right.
That's just the events calendar. That's not the revenues calendar.
That is the Revenos calendar. That should be the Revenos calendar. Is that not the Revenos calendar? Let me go ahead and I'm going to share this with you right now.
No, that's just the EXP events calendar. There's another calendar that's specific for revenues, but I
Yeah,
can't find it.
I'm gonna go ahead and post it right here because I had it up earlier and I'll just share it right now with you. Here it is. That I can go in. Let me go and pull it up for you. Any other questions? And if you want, I can also have it sent to Elizabeth, the Revenos calendar, and have somebody has it up there. Kay, did you do the right calendar here? That's the event calendar. Yeah, we want the Revenos calendar, but it should be. See, there's Bundle Select Mastermind, which is today for subscribers only. And I think I'm supposed to be on that call 10, 11, 12, 1. Nope, not till 1 o'clock today. Good.
If you want to send that over to us, Dawn, we'll get it in the right groups.
Perfect. And
So-
who do you want me to send it to? Elizabeth?
Yes.
Okay, great. Let's go ahead and I'll send that over to her today, okay?
All right. Thank you
All
guys
right.
for joining. We
Yeah.
appreciate you, Dawn. We're
Thank you,
excited.
everybody. I really appreciate you, and it's so exciting to be part of EXP and work with y'all. Love it. Take care. Thank you. Keep in touch.